Kebji weather overview looking at yesterday's snow, and it was impressive across the tri-state area. Amounts were wide-ranging as expected, with only 4 up in High Point, New Jersey. But then you go out to Islip, Long Island, 24.7 inches of snow. You see that area of orange there? That's over the Hamptons and Montauk, and they got over 2 feet of snow. So quite a blast for yesterday's storm. It had everything that you would want out of a classic East Coast winter storm, one that'll be remembered for quite some time to come, especially over Suffolk County and points north and east. Now, for this week, we have less in the way of storminess. We're going to have a gradual warm up Wednesday and Thursday. It's going to feel like a heat wave with highs in the 40s. And then by Friday, we'll be dealing with some rain, and that rain could transition over to some snow and ice at the end. So we're not completely off the hook, but most of this week is quiet. Take a look at tropical tidbits. Now, the setup has to do with a front that is going to be sitting over the central and northern part of the United States, and waves of low pressure are just going to ride along this frontal boundary. They're not even going to be really that intense, but what it's going to do is it's going to send out snow for hundreds of miles, basically from an area from northern Texas all the way up through the Great Lakes and into northern portions of New York State. So this is by Thursday. We're still fine here, as the front is not going to make much progress until we get into Friday. But then by Friday morning, we should see rain develop from west to east, but you notice over the northern sections of New York and New England, it's snow. The cold air is winning out. The high pressure is pushing down just enough so the interior areas are dealing with snow and ice. And as that front moves through, we should see a transition at the very end to ice and snow. Now, the question is going to be, how fast does the cold air move in? We're not dealing with a coastal storm. This is more of just a frontal passage, but there's plenty of cold to work with, so that by the time we get to Friday afternoon, Friday night, it could make for a messy commute, especially north and west of the city. So that's one to keep an eye on. It's not your classic East Coast storm, but it's a problem nonetheless because of this issue with the front pressing down with all the cold air in and behind the storm. And certain setups like that can give you intense amounts of snow and ice in a very short amount of time as the rain transitions over to snow. And then it's a cold weekend, and it's dry for the first weekend of February. So we take a look at our temperatures, nice and warm. We're going to have above normal Wednesday into Thursday. We'll show you in a second. And then by Friday, the cold air presses in, and it's quite impressive for Saturday. Highs not getting out of the 20s. Sunday, a little bit of relaxation. And then Monday, I think that we will see a bit of a warm up by Monday into Tuesday. Cold air wants to press down again, but I don't think the pattern is favorable for any sustained cold until we get after the 9th or the 10th. And I have a feeling that in the long range, we're going to be looking at a cold air making more inroads after that point in time. Until then, it's plenty cold now. Monday's high only around 33. And we're stuck in the 20s today, as we know, with these wind chills still biting after the storm. 36, gradually warming it up on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, it's going to feel nice at 44, believe it or not. And then Thursday, one more day with no precip, highs making a run maybe at 50 in some areas, especially south of the city. And then Friday, we have to deal with the problem areas of snow and ice developing, maybe a high of 42 early on in the day, and then we'll see what happens at night. We're going to have to track that system for Friday afternoon, Friday night, and see how bad it's going to get for the Friday evening commute. So not a bad week overall. We need a nice breather from the wild Saturday storm, and we will get it for the most part this week with moderating temps, and then we'll see what happens toward the end of the week.